F1 fans, welcome back to another absolute banger of a race breakdown. And trust me when I say this one's got everything. Drama, check. History being made, double check. Complete chaos after the checkered flag? Oh, you better believe it. We're heading to Shanghai, baby.
Pow.
The Shanghai International Circuit, where the air smells like ambition and the racing, pure fire. But before we dive into the madness that went down on March 23rd, 2025, let me paint you a picture of this legendary track.
Let's go.
Picture this. Back in April 2003, the marshlands of Shanghai's Jiading district were just sitting there, minding their own business. Then someone said, you know what? Let's drop $450 million and build one of the most insane racetracks the world has ever seen.
I am the way your son don't need a gun to get
18 months later, with 3,000 workers grinding every single day, the Shanghai International Circuit was born. The track layout? Designed to look like the Chinese character Shang, meaning upwards or ascend. Symbolic much? The main grandstand holds 30,000 screaming fans, and the total capacity? 200,000 people ready to lose their minds.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
But here's where it gets technical. We're talking 5.451 kilometers of pure racing excellence, 16 corners that'll test every single driver on the grid. That opening sequence through turns 1 and 2, it's this never-ending 360-degree sweeping right-hander that feels like it goes on forever. Drivers have called it unique, challenging, and sometimes absolutely terrifying.
How did they think that was okay to even put it in the game? I'm so sick of this.
And then you've got that monster back straight between turns 13 and 14, stretching 1.2 kilometers. That's where the real speed demons come out to play, hitting over 330 kilometers per hour before slamming on the brakes for the hairpin. Hermann Tilke designed this beast, and the man knew exactly what he was doing.
Nice.
Now let's talk about what made this weekend extra special.
Thank God.
This wasn't just any race weekend. No. This was the first sprint weekend of the 2025 season, meaning we got double the action, double the drama, and apparently triple the chaos. Friday rolls around and we've got one practice session. Just 60 minutes for these teams to figure everything out. And who topped it? Lando Norris in the McLaren, looking absolutely rapid. But then sprint qualifying happens, and oh boy, did Lewis Hamilton have something to say about that. Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, now driving for Ferrari in the iconic red, and he went absolutely nuclear in sprint qualifying. We're talking about a blistering 1 minute 30.849 seconds, setting a brand new lap record around Shanghai.
Yeah, boy.
That put him just 18 thousandths of a second ahead of Max Verstappen. 18 thousandths! You could blink and miss that gap. Oscar Piastri qualified third for the sprint, with Charles Leclerc fourth and George Russell rounding out the top 5. Lando Norris could only manage 6th after making mistakes on both his flying laps.
No! God, please, no! No!
But here's where things get spicy in the sprint race. Hamilton gets the perfect start, controls the pace from the front, and manages his tires like an absolute maestro. Meanwhile, behind him, Piastri is hunting down Verstappen, and with just a few laps to go, the Australian makes his move, snatching second place from the world champion. Hamilton crosses the line to take Ferrari's first ever sprint race victory. With Piastri second and Verstappen third, Russell holds off Leclerc for 4th, and suddenly Ferrari's looking like they might actually be back in business, or so we thought. Saturday afternoon brings us Grand Prix qualifying, and this is where Oscar Piastri finally gets his moment. After coming so close so many times, after the heartbreak of spinning out at his home race in Melbourne just a week earlier, the 23-year-old Australian was on a mission. His first lap in the final qualifying session, 1 minute 30.703 seconds. Clean, clinical, beautiful, But he wasn't done. On his second run, Piastri was actually down on his own time through the first 2 sectors. He was about to give up, thinking about boxing, but then something clicked. He sent it into turn 14. That long hairpin at the end of the back straight found those 2/10 he lost and pumped in a 1 minute 30.641, a new track record, his first ever Grand Prix pole position. George Russell pulled off a stunning last-second lap to steal second place, pushing Norris down to third. Verstappen qualified fourth with Hamilton fifth and Leclerc sixth. Race day, 56 laps around Shanghai. The pressure was on. And Piastri, ice cold. Lights out, and the Australian holds his position into turn 1. Norris makes a brilliant start on the medium tires, jumping Russell for second place by turn 4. Behind them, chaos erupts. Hamilton and Leclerc make contact on lap 1, knocking off Leclerc's left side front wing end plate. The Ferrari continues, but the damage is done. Lap 5 brings retirement for Fernando Alonso. His rear brakes overheating due to a different brake duct setup from his teammate. Gabriel Bortoledo spins into the gravel but continues. Up front, Piastri is building a gap, controlling the pace, managing those tires perfectly. Norris is sitting in second but starts reporting brake issues. Not ideal when you're trying to chase down your teammate for the win. The laps tick by. Piastri extends his lead. Norris's brake problems get worse, but he's holding second. Russell is cruising in third, having his best weekend of the season. Verstappen battles his way past the Ferraris, climbing to fourth, and then we get to the finish line. Oscar Piastri crosses first. Flawless, dominant. His third career F1 win and first of the 2025 season. Norris brings it home second despite his brake struggles, giving McLaren their 50th 1-2 finish in Formula 1 history. A landmark achievement for the Woking squad. Russell takes third, his second consecutive podium. Verstappen fourth, and then the Ferraris, Leclerc fifth, Hamilton sixth, or so we thought. Hours after the race, the FIA drops a bombshell. Charles Leclerc's car, underweight, 799 kilograms when it needed to be at least 800, disqualified. Pierre Gasly's Alpine, same problem, disqualified. And Lewis Hamilton, his skid block, the plank underneath the car, was worn down to 8.5 millimeters on one side. The minimum, 9 millimeters, disqualified. This was historic. Both Ferrari cars disqualified from the same Grand Prix for the first time ever in Formula 1 history. The first time we'd seen more than 2 disqualifications from a single race since 2004. Ferrari left Shanghai with 0 points. 0.
Motherfucker.
After Hamilton had won the sprint and both drivers finished in the points. Gone. The revised results promoted Esteban Ocon to 5th, Kimi Antonelli to 6th, Alex Albon to 7th, Oliver Bearman to 8th, Lance Stroll to 9th, and Carlos Sainz to 10th. Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur had to face the music, admitting they misjudged Leclerc's tire wear on his one-stop strategy and miscalculated Hamilton's skid wear by a small margin. Genuine errors, they said. Procedural mistakes. But in Formula 1, there are no excuses when it comes to technical regulations. For McLaren, though, this weekend was absolute perfection. Piastri's breakthrough pole position, his commanding race win, Norris fighting through brake issues to secure second, 50 career 1-2 finishes, championship points pouring in. This is what dominance looks like. So there you have it, fam. The 2025 Chinese Grand Prix, a weekend that had everything. Oscar Piastri announcing himself as a genuine championship contender, McLaren cementing their status as the team to beat, Ferrari experiencing the highest of highs in the sprint and the lowest of lows with that double disqualification, and a reminder that in Formula 1, nothing is over until the FIA says it's over. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Hyperfixation for all your Formula 1 chaos, and drop a comment telling me what you thought about this wild weekend in Shanghai. Until next time, stay fast, stay loud, and keep that F1 passion burning.